After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon's secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucian! Fool! The bastard's going to ruin everything! Breathe! 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 Don't say anything.
Malady groans, her face twisting in pain. She falls to one knee, catching herself on her hands. She raises one hand and raises herself to her feet.
No need to fuss, I'll be fine. It's just that traveling between the realms isn't easy, you know? It takes something from my soul each time. But never you fear, I've pulled a clever trick out of my sleeve. The Lady Vengeance stands in 2 realms at once. Her body here, her soul in the Hall of Echoes. You can still return at your leisure. At least I got us where we wanted to go. This is Arx. This is where Dallas has fled with the powers of the gods. This is where the path to divinity leads. Dallas must be stopped. She has stolen the powers of the Seven. You'll need to get the Aetherin back if you're to fight the God King. You'll need it if you're to ascend. Track her in Arx. Find out where she's gone and end her. Take back the Aetherin and the powers of the gods with it. You cannot fail, Godwoken. Not for anything.
Hey, Chief. Before we get a move on, I'd like a word with Malady. You mind? Psst. Hey, Mals. I'm not, feeling so hot.
I should think not. The demon is getting closer to himself. You'll meet him in Arx soon enough, and if you meet him like this, it's bye-bye Losa. We won't let that happen, will we? I've got a little something cooking. There's power in names, after all. And we know exactly who a Dramalik is. Don't worry. I'll find you before it's too late. Demon's honor.
What can I do for you? The powers of the Seven lie hidden in this city. So by all means, let's play hide and seek with divinity itself.
These Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Rather hard not to think of divinity, wouldn't you say, once it's become a promise? I've always known I was destined for greatness. To be Godwoken, though, that I did not quite see coming. Did you?
Many more of those on my sleeve.
Admiration, jealousy, and fear? Ha! Like we were separated at birth. But of course that doesn't quite answer your original question. I have thought about the prospect of divinity, yes, and about what divinity really means. When one strips away from the term all the pomp, all the piety, all the manifold associations it calls to mind, one is left with a single word: power. The true meaning of divinity is power, and as it so happens, power means a great deal to me. The only thing you have to ask yourself is, does it mean anything to you? If this man was to be believed, he was the House of Shadows, which implies said institution exists no longer. I am not of the opinion, however, that this man was to be believed. Was he prince? Maybe. Did he truly work for the good of our empire? Perhaps. He could have been no more than a lowborn, with a taste for drama and deceit. He could be one shadow prince in a legion of thousands. All that matters is he's dead. No longer can he stand in my way or pose a threat to Sadher. Which quite calls for a celebratory round of drinks as far as I'm concerned. A battle lost. A war begun. Dallas and that pet of hers are a force to be reckoned with. There is more to them than meets the eye. But what truly makes me pause is the fate of the Seven. How pitiful they were at the end. Think on it. Gods reduced to snarling beasts. So starved of source, it made them rabid. Think on it, because that is what we're fighting for. To be a god, knowing what a god really is.
Do you know, this Ark's place doesn't look half bad. It's only about 1/3 bad, really. Maybe 2/5, depending on the weather.
Yes? Well, I'm still quite keen on getting this parasite out of my head. First that, then Dallas. Oh? I think you're tough, smart. You listen when you should. You act when you need to. And I think you'd make a pretty good god, if it comes down to it. Your turn. What's your honest opinion of me? Well now, then all my painstaking efforts haven't been in vain. Thanks, Chief. Now, was that all?
You spy Jehan pensively looking over the distant skyline of Arx. He notices you approach, turns, and smiles his stern smile.
Bit of a rough and tumble landing we had. But we're alive, and we're in Arx.
He swings a backpack over his shoulder. It's filled to the brim with potions, grenades, and magical charms.
Off I go to rid a city of its demon. Wish me luck. Perhaps, but I'm determined to press ahead. I've my own battles to wage, and you... well, you have yours, don't you? Divinity eludes you still, but I've the feeling it won't elude you much longer. Think about what it means to become a god. Prove worthy of it. Do good.
A firm handshake, and he's off.
So the hunt...
Not the finest of landings, though I suppose our dear vessel did well enough, given it's not exactly in its natural habitat. At least I can still access all of my tools in the Hall of Echoes. I wouldn't relish the prospect of scouring through all this wreckage to find what I need. Why work, of course? Anathema won't restore itself, I dare say. I shall finish what I started, aboard whatever remains of the Lady Vengeance in the Hall of Echoes. Come and find me later in the Hall of Echoes. I believe I'm rather close to having Anathema in working order.